Geek Out!
You wanted the best. You got crazy, crazy nights instead. We're still doing this. We're still doing this, man. Sam, he's still here.
I just don't go away.
He's still alive. We're doing this. Crazy, Crazy Nights is the album we're talking about today, 1987. It's another episode of Kiss My Podcast. Couple, as we always do, a couple notes to get out of the way here, because I'm ready. I can't wait to dive into this one with Sam, because he sent me a thing this morning on Facebook and got me very excited. Very, very excited. But released September 18th, 1987. So we were alive for this one, buddy.
Yeah, it's the first Kiss album to come out while we existed.
Yeah, it's not a good one.
No.
At all.
Yeah.
And recorded from March to June of 1987. And here's why this album sucks, because it wasn't recorded in New York.
That's it.
That's the main one. Can-Am Records, Tarzana, California. One-on-One Recording Studios, Hollywood, California, and Rumbo Recorders, Cayuga Park, California. Some notes, a couple notes about the producer, because Kiss they had self-produced the last couple albums. They wanted to bring somebody in for this one. Mm-hmm. So Ron Nevison is the guy they brought in. He's worked with Heart, 2 albums with Heart, one of them being the self-titled album Heart with These Dreams, the fucking greatest song of all time. And he's worked with Meatloaf, Ozzy Osbourne, and Thin Lizzy, to name a few. Paul is the one who said that he really wanted to work with Ron. Gene has gone on record as saying he wasn't excited. He wasn't like, let's bring him in, let's have him work on it. And I think the feeling was mutual with Ron and Gene from what I've read. They didn't seem to get along too well. 3 singles. Crazy, Crazy Nights, August 18, 1987. So we were only a year and a couple days old at that point. Reason to Live, not this album, buddy. Released November 1st.
Not this song either.
November 1st, 1987 on my grandfather's birthday. And Turn on the Night, released February 27, 1988. Some background information about this album, young Samuel. This is the album where Paul, we kind of talked about this through a couple albums. Really, when we started to get to the Unmakeup era, and when we started getting to the 80s. But this is the album where Paul finally really kind of like hunkers down and confronts Gene Simmons about his seemingly lack of interest in the band in favor for other business ventures. I pulled this quote. This is from the book History. Okay, here we go. This is what Paul Stanley said.
The book History. It's about a flock of seagulls.
Yeah, about a flock of seagulls. Their haircut. That's it. So this is what Paul Stanley said. We were in the parking lot one day, and I said to Gene, "Look, you're off doing all these other things. Well, we're still reaping the benefits of the band, and I'm getting screwed. It's not fair for me to put in this kind of time while somebody else who's supposed to be my partner is not." And Gene looked at me and said, "That's fair." That's it. That's all he said. I could have used Gene's input, but my attitude at that point was that I certainly wasn't going to listen to a guy who's off managing cabaret singers and producing 5 bands while I was trying to make an album. So the frustration of Paul Stanley is burst. And the funny thing is, Gene does put in a couple tracks on this album, but the foundation of Kiss is fractured. And I think in Face the Music, Paul Stanley's book, I think Gene bought him a car, like a really nice car or something for it. And their relationship has gotten a lot better nowadays. It's kind of like what I feel like Pete Townsend and Roger Daltrey are like as well. So anyway, basically Gene isn't around for a lot of the album for recording it purposes. It's a point made by actually Ron Nevison, the producer, that he wasn't really around. So again, besides from Gene not being around, this album, though, I think is really known for adding keyboards. Not great. Piano, Kiss has worked with piano before and it worked really well, but the keyboards and synth, I'm sure, we'll dive into that, why I don't think that's a great choice. And then also, this will make Sam happy, this is the least played album since its initial tour, in song-wise. Crazy Crazy Nights, I think, has creeped up on a couple of, when they did the Monster World Tour, but basically nil from this. And a lot of them, it's because they said that they didn't work live, like when they tried to play them. This won't make Sam happy. This trivia though. This is in terms of Makeupless era. It is the highest charting Makeupless era Kiss in the U.S., peaking at number 18 in the United States of America. Samuel.
Though, did it outsell Lick It Up? Because Lick It Up actually sold.
Well, selling wise, no. I mean, this I think it went platinum. I mean, it sold a fuck ton, and I think a lot of that had to do with all 3 singles, 3 music videos, height of MTV, Crazy Crazy Nights was huge. But anyway, let's dive in though. Oh, and the cover's dumb. Another dumb cover. There is like, even Revenge, which I've said multiple times is my favorite Makeupless era Kiss. There is no good Makeupless era album covers. Like you look back at like. Just think of any of the Makeup era album covers, except for Music from the Elder. That one's pretty bad. It kind of signals it. And Creatures of the Night's not great. But anyway, like, Dressed to Kill. The first one, Kiss, of course. I think Love Gun that's my favorite album cover. Destroyer's great. Jumping
Dynasty
in there.
is really hit or miss.
I mean, Dynasty is just like
a composite.
Yeah, it's just a composite, just 4 photos. Although I love that. I love that cover as a kid because it was just the 4 of them just looking crazy.
Yeah.
And like their outfits the best.
What are we doing here?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, again, it's just shattered glass. Fuck you. I've been thinking about that a lot lately for some reason. But it literally just shattered glass in their faces there. Maybe it's when they heard the album for the first time, they just threw it on the ground and just shattered.
Like what Ace did to Music from the Elder when he heard it.
Rolled a tear. Anyway, we'll jump in here.
Yay.
Any thoughts, Sam, before we start?
It's just a piece of overproduced crap. This is, out of all the Kiss albums I've listened to, and I've listened to all of them up to this point, this is my least favorite Kiss album by actually a pretty big margin.
It's pretty bad. For me, it's still Animalized, but it's just it's ranking turds, man.
Yeah.
It's just not good. This is kind of where I threw in the towel. Like I've been trying to just say, one of the reasons I've been doing this with the Makeupless era stuff is to give it a chance. It's not for me. I just don't like it. And unfortunately, we have 2 albums left after this, but I do like Revenge a lot. Actually, we got 3, but I like Revenge a lot.
Yeah, we got Hot in the Shade and stuff.
Hot in the Shade and the Carnival of Souls and Revenge and Carnival of Souls. But anyway, first track right off the gate, Crazy Crazy Nights, written by Paul Stanley and Adam Mitchell. We talked about Adam Mitchell a couple times on this podcast. He worked on Creatures and the album Killers, which we did not talk about because it was a compilation album. But we're not done from hearing him yet. He's going to be on this, talking about it a couple more times on this podcast. Of course, sung by Paul Stanley. Again, it's not their best. It's not their best opening track by any stretch of the imagination.
It was this track that I realized I was in trouble.
Really, this one? I don't mind this one that much. It is just this. It's just the same shit. It's just the chorus over and over again. Which again, they're writing for the arena. They're writing for the big vocals. They're writing to get the crowd involved.
Yeah. The callbacks, the sing.
Yeah. I did. I did re-listen to this one a couple of times when I was writing the notes in the beginning. I just listened to the song a couple times. It's just crazy. I just woke up crazy, 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 and just going fucking nuts. But I mean, it starts with wow. Paul does that a couple times in this album. I remember talking like Animalized and stuff. I was like, yeah, that's kind of them trying to be like Van Halen. This entire album is them trying to be like 80s, like 1984 era, like Van Halen. Which is a problem because the song that I think we both came to the conclusion we were listening to was Jump.
Yeah, because there's a very Jump-esque song on this album.
I fucking hate Jump.
Yeah. I was at a dive bar, and this dude, like this like biker-looking guy, had full reign of the jukebox, like he was feeding it bills, feeding them loose bills,
feeding them.
And yeah, he was, when Jump came on by Van Halen, he was like, "Oh, this is classic rock," and proceeded to like air guitar around the bar, and I'm sitting there in my seat like, but it's synth. Yeah,
it's not necessarily the fact that they added synth. It's just that I think the song sucks. Like the synth didn't help. But whatever. Yeah. So again, it's like this whole album kind of sounds like one of my least favorite songs ever from Van Halen. That's about it. I mean, the video was huge, big rotation. I think it's one of the reasons it sold so well is because the title track was a big one for him. Not necessarily on like chart topping success, but I think just rotation and being an anthem in the sense that people are yelling it back.
And here's the thing: I tend to like arena rock. Just the big epic.
It's just that there's
sound.
It's almost like one verse and let's just do the chorus for
It's just this. We've talked about 80s Kiss being uninspired. This is uninspired. Like, it's just like Paul Stanley just saying, crazy, 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 crazy nuts until he like just like loses his mind,
Yeah.
and we've lost our minds too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not good. Not good.
Because I'm usually, citing Animalize. I love the opening, maybe not love, but I like the opening track to Animalize. I like most Kiss opening tracks.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, this is going to be like the best this album has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Did not.
No, I mean, this is not the best. I mean, there's one. I told you earlier, like, there's one song on here that I like better than anything on Animalized. The problem with me, I think, is the same problem you have with this album. It's just it's all the same, but like, Animalize is uninspired schlock with nothing good on it. There's at least a couple moments I like on this, but which is the only reason I put it a little bit above. But god damn it, Crazy Crazy Nights is not a great opening one for it. I mean, it's a passable track, but it's not up there with the echelon of great opening tracks for Kiss. I'll Fight Hell to Hold You, written by Paul Stanley, Adam Mitchell again, and Bruce Kulick. Bruce Kulick, really pulling his weight for Kiss with this one. He's in the studio a lot, and sung by Paul Stanley. Again, this is Bruce's second album with the band as an official member. And again, like I said, he's showing why he's a fan favorite with his work ethic on this album. According to Bruce, I don't know what Adam Mitchell plays, but he plays on this track as well. Maybe guitar, I think, is what he did. Some other stuff on past albums when we mentioned his name. This song's got some okay melody and riffage in the track. The melody, I think, is what I like the most, but it's a little bit harder. It's a little bit. It's not difficult to be harder than Crazy Crazy Nights. It's a little bit more of a rock sound to it, but Bruce does lay down some really solid guitar work on this track. Actually, this whole album, I think, one of the bright notes is Bruce Kulick's his guitar work. I mean, it's not, it's technically proficient. It doesn't sound like there's a lot of soul going on there, but it's a lot of noodle lightning fast shreddage going on.
If we're talking about like not a lot of soul, like Eric Carr's drumming, arena rock is not very. It doesn't really involve the drummer that much. You're just hitting like just pop, like hitting those like quarter notes, like
yeah.
Like he doesn't really get a lot to fill.
No, which is why we'll talk about my favorite track on the album later, which is the only song that seems to have any life in it. When it's funny enough, it's a Gene Simmons track. He's not really around for it, but anyway, but yeah, that's about it. I mean, whatever, fuck it. Bang Bang You.
I love the song title.
Hey Sam, Bang Bang You.
Yo, girl, I'm gonna bang bang you.
It's written by Paul Stanley and Desmond Child. The songwriter extraordinaire, sung by Paul Stanley as well. Up to this point, it's the Paul Stanley show. Paul Stanley,
including this number.
Yeah, that's right. Gene though is
okay.
Yeah, I'm calling him. Don't worry, Gene. Fans, he's coming.
Again, the song title is just. I'll say when I pulled it up on my Spotify, I was like, "Oh,
bang bang you!"
I was just like, "We're in for a good time today."
Yeah, Paul yells again in the beginning.
Yeah,
I do like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do one little thing. I was like when they do this. Paul does mention Love Gun in this, which I was like. He refers to his dick again. A nice little throwback to better times, better music.
Which is wild because it hadn't even been a decade at that point.
Yeah. He still got. No, it had been since Love Gun. Yeah, 77.
So a full decade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a decade though, but still, it's ridiculous. This next song, No No No. Now you would think No 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 would be the worst title this song could have. Let me tell you the two original titles for this song, Young Samuel. And again, written by Gene Simmons, Bruce Kulick, Eric Carr. Three guys I really like in Kiss. I think this is my favorite track on the album. It's sung by Gene. The original title was Assume the Position, then Down on All Fours. So, and he went with No 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 instead.
Honestly, I would have preferred either of those two.
Yeah.
Assume the Position probably would be my favorite.
But No No No.
No No No.
No No No. It's No No No. Anyway, it's Gene. Hey boys, it's me and Gene from episode 1. Young Annie. And Alien Ringo Starr. And anyway, Bruce Kulick. It's nice to see him. He's got some of his flashiest, best guitar work on this album, in this track. Eric Carr, double bass man. And I love the double bass, and he fucking rocks it on this. Just a solid, furious, fast rock and roll song. It's clear for me, clearly far and away the best song on the album. And That being said, I wouldn't put it on like a Kiss mix if I was making it, but it's the best that it has to offer. I think it's a solid track.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not my favorite track on the album. We'll get there, but yeah,
It's
there's a little more personality to it.
yeah. I mean, like you get the kick double bass. It's a lot more fast and ferocious. I like it. I wish Kiss took this identity more in the '80s, but they didn't. Next track, Hell or High Water, Sam's second favorite movie of the year. Written by Bruce Kulick, Gene Simmons, sung by Gene Simmons. It's also track 5 on this album. It's just, I mean, I was at this point I was searching for stuff. I was like, Gene is back to back.
Yeah.
It's not like he wrote the songs back to back, but he got the track listing.
Also, the name of 2016 film starring Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, I mean that's on here. Sam's second movie of the year is the first thing I wrote. Bruce does play bass on this one. Some more big riffs, big guitars, whatever. But that's you can say that about every fucking song that they do in the '80s. The song isn't nearly on the same level as the movie, though.
No.
I do want to rewatch the movie. I've only seen it once. I'd like to rewatch that again soon. Do you have it on Vudu?
I do. Yeah, I got it like the first day it was available. It's phenomenal.
It's very good.
I've seen it 3 times.
It's very good. Is that getting nominated for anything? Like
Yeah.
Golden Globe? Did it
Yeah.
get nominated for Best Picture and
Best Picture Drama, yes.
Screenplay? Did Bridges get nominated for anything?
I don't think Jeff Bridges.
It's a bummer because I think his performance and that's fucking
did.
astounding.
Yeah.
The end, especially. That I won't spoil. But he does something that I like very much in his performance, besides just talking with his tongue and excuse me out of his mouth. Sam, who's your favorite Jedi Knight, by the way? I don't feel like talking about the next track for a second. Do you have a favorite Jedi Knight?
I mean, Luke Skywalker's cool.
Yeah, he's pretty sweet.
Ewan McGregor, or Obi-Wan Kenobi's cool. Mace Windu's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Mace Windu's still alive?
I like to think so, like Samuel L. Jackson, but probably not.
Yeah, because I mean, I know they.
Why would he just like lay low for so fucking long?
Well, I mean, maybe because all the Jedi are dead, and Obi-Wan's like, please don't come back to the temple.
Yeah.
But that'd be cool. I guess that's good. It's nice to talk about Star Wars and Jedi. Next track is My Way, written by Paul Stanley, Desmond Child, and Bruce Turgon. Now, Bruce Turgon is a musician who has performed in several bands throughout his career, the biggest being Foreigner. He performed, I think, on one album with Foreigner. And sung by Paul Stanley. Paul is back. This is the one that starts to introduce the keyboards. And it feels weird. Phil Ashley is credited as the keyboardist on this album, but so is Paul Stanley. So I don't know who's doing what, but it's one of those two. It just feels weird, It feels weird with the keys. It feels forced. They're
feels
too
like
loud.
it feels like Jump.
Yeah, it does, and it's too. The keys are too loud. It doesn't work.
It is somehow worse Jump.
Yeah. And I hate Jump. I said I hate Jump more than I fear death. And Paul's vocals are. I will say, I'm always trying to find positive shit on here because I don't want to be just a drudge the whole time. But Paul's vocals, I think, are pretty strong on this track. Stronger than probably anything so far. And it's okay melody. It's fine melody. It's passable melody. When your walls come down, Sam, what are you going to do?
Walls of Jericho.
Walls of Jericho.
Yeah.
I still call it the Lion Tamer. That's how I always remember it because WCW days.
Sure.
He'd probably be like, fuck off. But Paul Stanley, Adam Mitchell, and Bruce Kulick wrote this track. Something by Paul Stanley. Fine. There's always a note. If you look through all of my notes, there's always at least one track that just says fine. Some of the early stuff probably doesn't say that.
I think this was a little more bluesy, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's just it's the same.
It's the same
chanting,
uninspired.
The past 3 albums are uninspired schlock.
It's all like it's Kiss at an identity crisis.
Yeah, and they don't. It's not till honestly, in my opinion, Revenge, where like. They just take Jesus take the wheel, man. They take the fucking wheel again. And they go hard, and then of course they decide to reunite and then just go back to where they were,
Yeah.
Which is fine, but I'm excited to talk about that when it happens. Reason to Live, Paul Stanley, Desmond Child, sung by Paul Stanley. Paul can write a ballad. He's been proven that before.
Sure.
Time and time and again. It's a nice change of pace, I guess.
It throws off the monotony.
It does, but it's still not good. Supposedly he played the demo to Gene over the phone, and Gene was like, "Whoa, what the fuck. Fucking right. Put that on the fucking album as fast as possible, huh? Lars was their drummer for a while. But, chorus is nice. Some interesting melody and vocal layering from Paul.
I just see that. I can just imagine that in your notes. Chorus is nice.
It says right here, the chorus is nice.
Chorus is nice. It's like when Jerry Seinfeld makes Louis C.K. come up with family-friendly jokes because Jerry doesn't curse during his set. And he's like, if you're going to do a set with me, you can't. None of that poo-poo language.
Yeah, poo-poo.
And so he's sitting there on the bus going to the venue, and he's trying to think up clean jokes. And his only one that he writes down is chickens are dumb.
And he could probably make millions off just saying that because he's just a funny guy.
Yeah.
I do like the layering of the vocals. That was kind of cool in this song. But it's no I still love you. That song's fucking dope. It's not good, And unfortunately, this is the last couple albums are 9 tracks. This one's 11. And I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I can scroll down. Oh, I can scroll down.
Yeah, shit. Shit the bed. Shit the bed and just listen to this. My notes originally started
in your own filth, listening to crazy.
Fine. Some crazy nights and shitting yourself. No, but my notes started off as actual notes, when you read early stuff, because you just have them all saved just in case they need to go back. Now it's like a fucking special language. You have to read it because it's just as getting it writing those as fast as possible, like code reading this shit. It's just the chorus is nice. Chickens are dumb. Good Girl Gone Bad. Unfortunately, it's not Rihanna's third studio album we're talking about.
This is the bluesiest song on the entire album.
That spawned such songs as Umbrella, Breaking Dishes. I'm breaking dishes up in here. I'm a fighter man tonight. I'm a fighter man tonight. And then my Shut Up and Drive, and then my personal favorite from the album, Don't Stop the Music. Written by Gene Simmons. David Sigerson, a writer and novelist who's written for Rolling Stone. The Village Voice, who worked with John Entwistle of The Who, The Bangles, Tori Amos, and Olivia Newton-John, to name a few. And Peter Diggins, who is the songwriter partner of David Sigerson, who supposedly never met Gene Simmons, but helped him write this song. That Rihanna album's pretty good, man. That's the Rihanna album that fucking opened
the door
to Rihanna. I remember the Umbrella music video.
Pretty.
Chia. That's where the chia comes from me.
Yeah.
Jay-Z. And he says, "Good Girl Gone Bad," he says the name of the album.
Yeah, they always do.
Action.
They announce their names like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We Rockefeller.
Yeah.
We fly high together.
Yeah.
You know me. In anticipation for precipitation, stack chips to a rainy day.
You know what song I've really been getting into that obviously isn't on this album?
Yeah.
Because I'm getting into
none
no
of it.
songs.
Yeah, none of that.
These guys, these fucking Kiss guys.
Yeah.
But there's I'm not a big Will.i.am guy. I like Black Eyed Peas just fine.
Let me get that. Let me get that. Boom, boom, boom. Check it out. That boom, boom, boom. These chicks be jacking my style. I will say real quick. That's to do with that shit. My sister was in a did dance stuff, and at Centerville High School, they did this thing where they would they were really done really well, but they would also they'd have a theme, and one of them was tonight's gonna be a good it's gonna be a good night or whatever,
yeah.
and
so
she came out and the director was like, tonight's gonna be a good night, and then there's silence, and you can see the person scrambling. You hear dun, 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 dun. So my brother and I always joke, and my sister were like, tonight's gonna be a good night, and then another song starts in accent, Billie Jean. Oh shit, no, good night. Anyway, Will.i.am.
It's a song called I want to say it's Power or something. It's hashtag Power. He does it with Justin Bieber. Again, not a big Bieber fan.
Oh boy.
But the chorus that Bieber does, or that one vocal line that Bieber does, I'm just oh my god. It just lifted. Yeah, it's pretty fucking awesome. But yeah, whenever rappers or R&B singers have to announce who they are, and it's dude, we know.
Yeah, they do. Or I've heard somebody was whenever a rapper yells out, "You know who it is?" I don't.
Oh, so you're the opposite?
Well, no. Sometimes they go, "You know who it is?" If it's if it's a song on the radio.
Yeah.
I don't keep up with that stuff. I don't know.
Okay.
So I'm who are you? So sometimes it helps.
All right.
But when when I know who it is, you're saying, it's hilarious because I bought your album.
Yeah. Again, they're like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rihanna.
It was super effective.
Yeah, dude. Fucking Rihanna, man.
Rihanna's awesome.
She's like the greatest. I remember the concert for Valor. She played after Springsteen. And we were walking. We had to leave because we were catching a ride with somebody. And like as I was leaving, it was like that scene in Jaws where like
the Zolly shot.
She was walking out. She's like, shine bright like a diamond. She was like in like a diamond dress. Fucking pandemonium. Kids were like tearing over. They were going crazy for Rihanna. I was like, it's pretty sweet. I saw a shirt that said "Shine bright like King Diamond," and it was King Diamond's like with the corpse paint. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, this song, the beginning sounds like "Lick It Up." Same riffage and drums. Yeah. It's not though.
Yeah, Lick It Up's better.
The song is based off of a girl that Gene knew. It was sort of based off of a girl that Gene knew in college. Turn on the Night. One of the singles. Keyboard heavy track written by Paul Stanley and Diane Warren, who is an Emmy, Grammy, and Golden Globe Award winning. I wrote what I meant to say was songwriter, but I wrote Diane Warren. This is to tell you where I'm at mentally when I'm doing this. Diane Warren, Emmy, Grammy, and Golden Globe Award winning Diane Warren. Songwriter.
There can only be one.
She is pretty legendary, I guess. Not I guess.
Well,
obviously in the field, but she's worked with lots of people. Eric, I just picked a couple, but Eric Clapton, Lady Gaga, Whitney Houston, Bon Jovi, and Aerosmith, to name a few. So, she is quite the professional. But this song sounds weird. It's a weird song because the keyboard again, and we've mentioned in the past they've used like piano. Use the fucking piano really well, like in Christine 16, Beth, of course, other songs. It's not good though. I don't like the weird synthy stuff with Kiss. And the chanting vocals is back, a little catchy, but I think that has to do with Diane Warren being the award-winning Diane Warren. Anything to say?
What's the next track?
Thief of the Night.
Thief of the Night, my favorite track on the entire album.
Thief of the Night.
So it's actually, I was hoping for a good opener. I got an okay closer.
It's funny because this is the one I just stopped halfway through. I was like, fuck, I'm done.
For me, it's like the closest it sounds to like proper Kiss.
That's fair. Written by Gene and Mitch Weissman. We talked about Mitch Weissman. He was the original Paul McCartney for the show Beatlemania. Sung by Gene. It's funny. This song was originally performed by Wendy O. Williams. Anyone who's ever listened to music of any kind with any kind of edge probably knows who Wendy O. Williams was. The queen of shock rock. And it's funny. This song, instead of really like doing research on the song, because it's really nothing. I mean, she's the one who performed it originally. Gene does play on her solo album, Wow, under the name Reginald Van Helsing. So it's the first time he ever played outside of Kiss. Funny enough, on Wendy O. Williams' debut solo album, Wow, Ace is on it, Paul Stanley's on it, Eric Carr is on it, and Vinnie Vincent is also on it, which is kind of cool. They're not playing all together, obviously, but I think all on different tracks, doing different things, chanting heavy vocals and stuff. But I ended up doing more research on Wendy O. Williams. I knew a little bit of Wendy O. Williams stuff back in the day. The Plasmatics we talked about last album. I think there's some of the members, helped write some of the tracks. Dude, this is insane. She ultimately killed herself, which is terrible. But she tried to kill herself originally by hammering a knife into her chest. Oh. And it got stuck on her sternum, and she's like, nah. But she's like one of those people like, fucking, we talk about a lot of, different like women in rock and we love like Joan Jett, of course, and Hart and all those people. But like Wendy O. Williams is a fucking savage in rock and roll. It's like Iggy Pop on steroids because it's like just insane. I couldn't find audio of her version of this. I don't know if like her solo, that debut album's like hard to find. It wasn't on Spotify. It wasn't on YouTube. They have some stuff for their band, before that. But which I think I pronounced right, maybe not. Fucking crazy, man. They have a song called, I think, The Damned. I think there's a song called Rock and Fuck. But it's crazy, man. Like chainsaws and like crazy. It looks like Tank Girl. She looks like Tank Girl performing live. Worth a check out if you're into like kind of more of the extreme music stuff. Really fucking fascinating human. I'd love to see a scripted film, a biopic about her, because what a life, man. She killed herself. She died at 48, which is unfortunate. But I think, a legend in her own right. Anyway, I went down this rabbit hole, reading about her more than I did about the album.
Not that hard. Not that hard. Again, it's
But
my
well, I'm glad at least you had this, somewhat of a favorite track on this album. I couldn't even force it out.
I don't even know if
Not favorite, but it's the one you like. You hate the least.
Yeah, I think just empirically speaking, there's got to be something that isn't as shitty as the other 10 before it.
Kiss is trying me, man. They're fucking trying me, bro. Try me, bro. Don't tase me, bro.
You betrayed me.
Yeah. Am I part of you the time? Shit. Anyway, thanks for suffering through this as always, Samuel.
Yeah, well, like I said, if you ever need somebody to talk Kiss, I
need you a couple more episodes.
Yeah.
But your time will be done soon, I promise.
Yeah.
For anyone interested,
retire me into like this hall of like frozen people.
Yeah, you'll have like a Hall of Fame bust.
Yeah.
Those weird Hall of Fame busts. Again, I think the one positive coming out from this, aside from being their highest charting U.S. non-makeup era release, is that they have finally cemented that lineup that's lasted longer than like one album. They've kind of been changing a lot since Lick It Up. And this one, they have Eric Carr, they got Bruce Kulick, they got Paul Stanley, they got Gene Simmons, and this will go forward for basically 3 more albums. And unfortunately, really only 1 more album actually because of Eric Carr's passing. But
yeah,
a lot of tribute to him and some stuff played and done with him on Revenge. But that lineup's there. The touring, it's a great lineup. But unfortunately, they're not, in my opinion, putting out great music. But as always, thanks for listening, guys. Remember to rock and roll night party every day. And that was my sign off. And I'm keeping talking. Bye.
This has been another Geek Out production. If you enjoyed what you heard, hey, we've got a new commentary every Monday. We've got a special episode every Friday. Of course, there's the usual catching up show every Wednesday. And you get book club episodes just about every Tuesday these days. Thanks for listening.